Hey, it's Mark again. I just wanted to talk about a couple things that I didn't touch on in the last video. There's a couple things I wanted to show here that I've been looking at. So one of the things is the treasury bonds, the TLT, the long-term treasury bonds. These usually act really well off of technicals. They tend to trade in channels, some really tight channels. You see going back, even years, they trade well off momentum. So once they start going in a direction, they just keeps going and doesn't have a lot of whipsaws and fake outs. So the trend right now is down, and I think some of the stuff might have had to do with some of the move today. Might have had to do with some of the Fed speakers were talking. At least I saw the Kashkari guy was talking, and so you see it's really respected this downtrend line extremely well. It started to top out back in December last year, and then it goes down and then down and down. It's just a pretty steady chart, and then we just touched off it again, and it also was in an up channel off that touch, and it rejected that level really well, really clearly in my opinion. It never made it above that for a day, so we're down pretty far already off of that level. So I think there's more downside coming, and you can get there's a little bit of a channel support there. So I think we're going down to, I'd say it's a pretty safe bet to say we hit 86 just based on the chart here. Of course, you never know what can happen with the macro, or maybe there's something happens and the Fed says something, or you never know. But the picture here is that it's going lower, and we hit off the upper resistance level. So it kind of reminds me of the Tesla chart actually for a while, when Tesla was in a clear down channel. But that's the cool thing about technical analysis. You can see things that you wouldn't see otherwise, obviously. So I'm sure you can. I don't really follow the rate projections really closely. I think it's kind of a fool's game to spend a lot of thought on what the rates are going to be 6 months from now, because it's all dependent upon what happens in the economy, and the data we have is lagging. So, but it kind of matches up with the thing we've seen now, where they're going to be higher for longer, quote unquote higher for longer. So when the gist of it is, the way bonds work is, when the rate or the interest is higher, the bonds go down. So when rates stay up, in theory the bonds will stay suppressed. So that's one of the things I was looking at, is this TLT. So I was gonna put on some TLT puts yesterday or a couple days ago when I saw this, because the reject off this candle here, that was a pretty big candle here, and that was kind of the telltale sign there. But I haven't really had a ton of success versus just individual stocks with the options. There's just the opportunity cost. There's better stuff out there I can trade usually to get some good returns on options. Like some of my last option plays were incredible. Like the Krispy Kreme was like a 400% gain, and I don't have it pulled up here, but they're all pretty good, like the exact numbers. But yeah, so anyway, so that's the TLT. And then the other one I was looking at was these preferred, the Fannie Mae or the federal. I always get them mixed up, but yeah, the preferred on the FNMAs. These just keep breaking out, and it's sort of the main one is the FNMA, and or it's Freddie Mac or whatever. Yeah, Freddie Mae, Freddie Mac. Always sometimes I mix those up, but we used to talk about that a lot more back in like 2008, 2009. That was like the big thing. But this has been, well, this is kind of one of the standout charts because I look at a lot of charts, and this one came off of a really bullish, clean, long bull triangle. This is a bullish pattern. It's a triangle pattern, ascending triangle to be exact. So it broke out, retested, and we've just been going the past week, and it's been very high relative strength versus pretty much every other asset here and every other stock, mostly for the most part. I mean, it's kind of like Nvidia; it just keeps going up here. Like not much has gone up the past week, just consistently every day. So that might be. I was kind of thinking that was a signal because in the past it was a signal for the FNMA, because FNMA is sort of the underlying in a way almost, but I didn't really see a clear pattern on this, but it looks like it's trying to do. It's got this kind of weak little triangle going here. It's more like a pennant, really. I would say maybe that was the pennant there. There's not really a clear pattern there, but that's why it's called a pennant, like a wedge. It's just like congested. But it's going sideways and it's holding that uptrend, so that's could be bullish for this one too. And that's, to me, that's sort of bullish on the economy too, you know, because the Freddie Mae and Freddie Mac hold the most mortgages in the United States. And I'm trying to think of the other ticker. Yeah, it's the Freddie Mac, but the most tickers I know off the top of my head, I just punch them in, but I think it's FMCC, but it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, yes, yeah, I've been looking at stocks a long time. I pretty much know. I probably know more tickers than I think I know. I probably know not as much as Jim Cramer, but he actually is good at some tickers, you know. At least he seems to be. But yeah, this one's the same. You know, it always trades the same as the FNMA. So that's something I was looking at because the preferreds keep breaking out like every day, and that wouldn't be happening if it was like a risk off to me. But there's not really much going on now. Like the past couple of days, like I was looking through my scans, and the biggest percentage gainers are just these like SPACs and just a bunch of crap that's like not really any good companies that are up, you know, making the moves here. I mean, it's just like I was talking about, there's a lot of Chinese stuff and like these SPACs. Like I was looking at my top gain. I mean, look at the top gain today. Like this is what I look at because I filter it for lower price stocks. But yeah, there's not really much going on. But I just kind of took some profits today in my puts, and still got a lot of puts on. We got more puts, but the one I highlighted in the other video, that watch list did really well. That I put out yesterday or the other day. I guess it was 2 days ago. But the Black Rifle Coffee Company. Yeah, this was my top long pick, really, was this BRCC, and you can see it held that level really well, and then stock was up again today like I thought it was going to be. And I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't put this one on. I put some other stuff on today, like the banks, but hopefully somebody got in this. But I think it's still going to go higher. So from here, and I happened to go into a local Walmart here, and in the local Walmart, this Black Rifle Coffee Company, they had some really good shelf space. They had it was pretty high up on because when you're in a retail store and you see the shelves, you're looking at the shelf, the stuff on the bottom, that doesn't get as much priority. Those people don't see that as much. Stuff on the very top is the same. So kind of like eye level is where I think they pay a higher, like a really high price for that. So and because of course it sells more. So it was kind of it wasn't like it was pretty good. I haven't worked in like a grocery store, but it was to me it looked like a good shelf space, and they had a bunch of stuff. They had a bunch of space. They had like, I was just there, so I want to say they had at least four different kinds, four different products on the shelf there at Walmart. And my city's kind of a big city. It's like the second biggest city in the state. So it's one of the bigger ones in the region. But yeah, they've got some good stuff going on. If you see it in the stores, that's always a good thing, especially at Walmart. If they're in Walmart, that's pretty big. Of course, it's more expensive coffee, so I assume they must be at some high end places too. Because if you're selling high priced coffee, I don't think you'd want to be at just at Walmart. But I don't know, who knows? Like, it's kind of amazing how the consumer is just really resilient, even with the inflation. But yeah, that's what's going on here, and it's just a really really nice triangle. I mean, the more I look at it, the more it's just amazing. Like, it's just a really good setup here because it's low volume. Yeah, I think the stock goes higher technically, and like I went over the fundamentals in the other video. So if you're interested in the company, just watch the other video from like a day or two ago. And I went over like the fundamentals, the balance sheet and stuff. So that's that one. That's all I really want to talk about. Some of my other calls, I do have some call positions on, and that's a Pfizer. And I kind of wish I had taken some profits on that when I hit that, because we were really going here on that day. And but the reason I put this on was just mostly a sort of fat tail, like a possibility that there's like another bird flu that makes the news. And I'm not worried about it. It'll probably be nothing, but if the news media makes a story out of this newest bird flu, it's like there's some kind of flu going around. I guess it's like another avian flu, and I found some other stocks that can play off that, but I just think Pfizer's gonna be higher over the next 6 months or so. So the other one was the CVAC. That's another play on this company. They make mRNA vaccines for that bird flu. I think it's like H5N1 or something. It's like it's kind of like another SARS, I guess. It's similar to SARS, at least it sounds like it. And this one looks really good still too. It's holding trend support. That red line is our trend support, and every time it gets down there, it comes back up. I mean, it doesn't touch it perfectly, but you get the idea. It's going up. So looks like another bull flag, another really short bull flag. I wouldn't call it a high flag because it's just not a high flag, because a high flag is like 2 days usually. But yeah, this one looks bullish still too. So one of the quants that I follow on Twitter or on X, or whatever, I think she's a hedge fund manager, and she's pretty well followed, but not really popular, I guess. But she's probably one of the smartest minds in the quant arena on Twitter, because she really is a quant, and the quants are just the sort of the best of the best in this game, because they're mathematicians and usually really bright. So they use quantitative strategies, obviously. So Yeah, that one's another one. I didn't really find anything else. I think the AGIO might have been, but that one's pulled back again. But I think this one will do well. Yeah, for some reason my data feed's not pulling that one up, but yeah, Nvidia looks like it. I think it looks like a rest day today. Just kind of rested. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes higher from here. And I may take my rig puts off. So it looks like USO or the crude oil did a bearish engulf today, and I was kind of surprised it broke out of that channel, but I guess that's kind of the sweet spot where the producers and like oil is most profitable for these companies when it's like $80 a barrel, at least. I know it's over 70, something like that, 70 to 80. So the Wayfair is that was another great setup I put on my X account. If you don't follow my X account, check out my X account on my profile's stock pursuit with the underslash in between stock/pursuit. And I put this one out like, weeks, like when it was, I put that setup out back here when it was like $70, and that one's been crazy. Like I opted for other ones instead, like Peloton, which is okay, but I just can't trade every stock that I see a setup in, because I do look at see a lot of setups. And the other one, yeah, the other stuff I was looking at was from the other day was DNN. Still strong. This is kind of a slow mover though. It kind of just goes up really slow. It's not going to go from like 2 to 3 in a day or something, like usually I trade those ones, but this one's kind of slow, it does have a lot of pullbacks. And the PLG is still interesting too. These are my other long watches from that watch list, video watch list. And it's holding up okay too. It's right around that level that I found, because that level it's at right here. You can see these levels. That was the high back in 22. Was about 187, and it goes back to October of 21. It was kind of low there. It's like 180s, 190s. So we kissed off of that again today a little bit. So if it holds 196, 190, whatever that high was there, 195. Looks like I could keep going, but this isn't really a high conviction one. It's just one of the few bullish setups I saw that looked like a pretty good bull flag. Pretty good bull flag there. So yeah, that's about it really. And I've been watching a lot of ETH. I've been making some trades on Ethereum. Pretty much like I'm pretty much down or break even on those, because I was trying to get a hang of how it trades, but it's pretty tough to scalp. So I may just wait for it to either break out or get some more volatility. But this BCHG has been a leading indicator for Bitcoin at some points, and it's not doing well. It pretended like it looked like it was going to break out there, and then Bitcoin reacted to there and on like the 15th, and we just pulled back. Like it's just to me it doesn't look good for Bitcoin in the near term, the next week or two, if this thing stays low, because you want to see this go up when Bitcoin to go up too. And I think Bitcoin's just hanging in there. It's near the highs though, but this is kind of what I've noticed is a bit of a leading indicator for the Bitcoin itself. So yeah, that's it. That's I'll call it a wrap there. It went like 20 minutes, but yeah, if you're still watching, subscribe to my Substack. It's just like my Twitter handle, stockpursuit.substack.com. It's like the pursuit of happiness, stock pursuit. And check out my Twitter. I'm really active on X, Twitter. And that's it. So catch you later.